Hello, 12 Bitches, and welcome back to this week's edition of Crash Talk Sports. I'm your host, Matt Bunton. I'm here with
Jayden 1.
And I am here with also two guests, which are going to be our interviewees today.
Jayden 2.
And Marcos Diaz.
For reference, that first one was Jane Foster. That second one is Jane Roccucci, the little red. We're going to head straight into offseason news. And to start off, Derek Carr has officially announced his retirement. Longtime Raiders quarterback, then switched to Saints, and he has, just retired. His statement was, upon reflection of prayer and discussion with Heather, which is his wife, I decided to retire from the National Football League for more than 11 years. We have been incredibly blessed, and we forever are grateful and humbled by this experience. It's difficult to find the right words to express our thanks to all the teammates, coaches, management, ownership, team officials, and especially the fans who made this journey so special. Your unwavering support has meant the world to us.
Unwavering support. He isn't one of the most hated quarterbacks in the league.
I have to agree with Jayden on that one. Jayden 1, I agree.
No one likes that guy.
No one.
I disagree. I think that some people liked him for a very long time, and so it kind of stuck around. Just because he was like...
You like him, don't you?
Oh, I don't personally really like him.
So
I'm just indifferent. All I'm saying is if you're a Raiders fan, you had, many years of just hopelessness, and then Derek Carr actually pulled up and did stuff for you, and then he actually gave you hope. He didn't do anything, but he gave you a sense of hope at the very least.
Maybe, and then we started seeing him play.
Bruh. Didn't he have an MVP caliber season and then got hurt?
He broke his leg in the right before the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
He probably would have made it a deep playoff run if he didn't get hurt, but what ifs? What ifs are the story of the Raiders because their entire organization crumbles all the times.
Listen here, we haven't... Yeah, I gotta agree. Never mind. I can't even defend this. As a Raiders fan, I can't defend this because it's true.
You got Ashton Genty, though, and Geno Smith, and Pete Carroll. We got something going.
We got something.
Your O-line's still kind of Duke.
Yeah, no. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's right.
Your defense also needs some more.
I feel like if we could recruit the 12 Bridges linemen from last year, yeah, for sure.
Shout out Colton Hogue.
Love you, big dog.
Yeah, they'd probably be better than their O-line right now.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah,
no doubt.
Probably, yeah.
No doubt. Sorry, Coach Bean, if you're listening.
Somebody at
I'm talking.
Jackson. All right, anyways, we're going to move forward just a little bit. Last season's sack leader, Trey Hendrickson, with 17 sacks last year, like I said. But he is currently in some contract troubles with the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm sure that Jane probably knows a little bit about it, but
the Bengals.
The Bengals have him on lease for another year. He's seeking a contract extension. Trey Hendrickson is seeking a contract extension, except looking like not with the Bengals, because he seems a little bit unhappy with the way that they're handling his contract extension. He was offered a $21 million 1-year contract, and he declined, and then he also stated that they, and I quote, aggravated him. Now, based off of reports, the only time since the draft that he has actually spoken with any member of the Bengals front office was when he had when they told him that he would be fined if he did not show up to minicamp. They said that they were willing to fine him up to $100,000 for every day that he missed.
Jesus.
And so he also, by the way, should mention this first, actually, that he has already stated that he will not play a single game for the Cincinnati Bengals if they do not give him a large multi-year contract extension.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's trying to get a multi-year contract extension, probably $30 million plus a year, from a team that doesn't even have $10 million in cap space because they spent $500 million on 3 players on offense. You got a team that's going to be putting up 50 and still somehow lose by 70.
That's actually crazy.
I know that $500 million sounds like an exaggeration. In reality, they currently have... Let me think. This last 2 off seasons, they have paid 3 players a total of $121 million. Wow. 3 players
that's
on the
excessive.
offense.
That is excessive.
I would honestly if I was the Bengals GM, I would have let T. Higgins walk, and I would have built that defense. You can easily find a decent, serviceable wide receiver 2 and a 3. You don't need someone at T. Higgins' caliber. I would have let him move on, be a wide receiver 1 somewhere else, like in, Carolina or who needs a wide receiver right now?
New England.
Patriots? Yeah, Patriots. Especially the Patriots. Like, if he went to the Patriots, he probably would have gotten paid even more than he got paid in Cincinnati. And Cincinnati would have had a way better team overall, especially on the defense, because then you would have been able to pay Hendrickson. You would have been able to maybe make a splash in the free agency. But no, you decide to keep T. Higgins, and you're going to have a really good offense and just one of the worst defenses in the league.
So from what it sounds like from the Trey Hendrickson talks is that he wants a long-term deal, not necessarily a high-paying one. He said that he would have been okay with a $21 million a year deal if it was for 3 years. The issue with the contract is he's 30 years old, and he says that he doesn't want to leave the league based off of 1-year contracts, right? So he wants a long lease that allows him to have job security for the next 3 to 4 years.
Which is totally understandable.
It's understandable, and yet from an ownership standpoint, right, you're not willing to pay a D-end who's already 30 years old for 4 years.
Yeah, nobody's going to do that. I mean, you might be able to get a team that's so desperate for a defensive end that they're like, here.
Now, a championship team is what you're looking for. Like, if in terms of if they're going to pay someone like that, it's going to be a championship team. Because sometimes a defensive end is all you need to win another Super Bowl. Eagles.
Okay.
So
you guys do not need more defensive ends.
We just lost Josh Sweat.
Okay.
Dude, he was like, how old? 35?
So, reportedly, when he did show up to minicamp, he was wearing street clothes and he refused to participate. So, that is currently where we are at currently.
At least he showed up.
He did show up. Marcos Diaz. He did show up. We got 2 more things to get to.
Yeah.
All right. Number 1, our interviews. All right. So we're going to start with Marcos, since he's a little bit of a new spin on this, right? He is a Raiders fan. We've never had a Raiders fan on the show before. Unless you're
okay, 49ers. I don't want to hear you.
Nasty.
I don't want to hear the 49ers in the corner over there.
All right. So I want to ask you a couple things. Number 1, this offseason, you've made a ton of moves. One of the biggest changed rosters in the entire league, I would say, during this last few months.
Their whole line just got switched out damn near.
That is true.
I said one of. But they have a new quarterback. They have a new running back. That's basically it. But that's the fundamental of your offense, right?
Yeah.
And they have a new head coach.
Yeah, dude, they
Pretty
switched
much.
2 players.
You know, we've had like 3 new head coaches.
You re-signed Max Crosby. All right, I want to know,
technically we're in Santa Clara.
Mr. Diaz,
Yes, sir.
what is your favorite offseason move which has been made by the Las Vegas Raiders so far?
Yeah, Max Crosby re-signing is one of my favorite moves that we made so far.
And then
Hey,
what
I'm
about
standing by
the
my word.
draft? How did you like your Ashton Genty pick?
Honestly, one of my favorite picks. I think he's very good for this offseason and our season in general, because looking at his stats, he is very well rounded.
Anyways, we're moving on to Jayden 2, the redhead flame burning hair.
We love him.
Man.
We love him.
All right, Mr. Roccucci, I want to know, what is your favorite or least favorite, because you don't have very many to choose from, off-season moves for the 49ers?
The most controversial thing that happened for the 49ers this season was letting people go off the team.
Agree with that, Jayden 1? Do you agree with that?
No. I think that letting those players go was smart for the long term of this franchise.
No.
We let aging, injury-prone veterans go. I am sad about Dre Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga, Travarius Ward. I mean, we didn't really have a choice with Ward because his daughter passed away. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
My condolences, but
I agree.
we simply did not have the money to keep enough of them, and we let all of them walk, which saved a lot of cap space for us. Because if we would have tried to pay them, then we probably wouldn't have been able to pay Kittle. We wouldn't be able to pay Purdy, and we wouldn't definitely not be able to extend Warner, which is a must. We must extend him. But we were able to go into the draft. Robert Saleh was able to take control, rebuild our defense in the draft, hopefully, if it works out. But we have potential. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but in the future, this was the best decision that we could have made.
I believe
That's a fair point. Before we go, we're gonna take maybe just a minute and a half to talk about something that we don't really talk about very often. We're switching gears. And I want to talk about, for once, well, not for once, but the NBA. All right, all I wanted to say is we need to move on really quickly for the little bit of time that we have to talk about the NBA playoffs right now. In fact, really the only thing I want to talk about simply is Jason Tatum ruptured Achilles. Hope he gets better, That's just R.I.P. Achilles is crazy. And also R.I.P. Steph Curry in the playoffs because
R.I.P. the Warriors.
Anyways, that is all we have time for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you too for being interviewed today.
Yeah.
And
this is an honor being on here for sure.
anyways, see y'all.